Okay, I think we should start. I have made this live stream public so that anyone can join now. So we will discuss some learning path. How should we approach to master front-end development? Okay. So this is the agenda of today's video. How should we master front-end development so that you will be able to get good jobs? Okay. Let me share my screen quickly and we will then continue. Nice. So, what is front-end development? Okay, front-end development means whichever or wherever you see on the screen. If you visit a website, then you will be able to see a page. Okay, and the page has some text and images and videos or GIFs or that's all. Okay, so here is the thing, where from the data is coming, this is called server, and the data is shown in a beautiful manner in your website, which is front end. Okay, so if we take a look on the live example, if we visit clubofhotels.com, okay, any website you can visit. So here you will see 3 courses are here and workshop is here. This is front end. Okay, the thing which you are able to see. And let's open the console. How should you open the console? Go to view, into developer, and into JavaScript console. So it will open the JavaScript console. You can also use the command, which means you can also use this. If you are on a Mac, there is different shortcut. If you are on a Windows machine, there is different shortcut. So open this console. Okay, here you will see different tabs. There are elements, there are networks, there is network, application, source, performance, memory, security, lighthouse, recorder, performance, insights. All has some different work. Okay, so this is our front end. And now I will explain you where from our data is coming and how we are showing that data in a beautiful manner. Okay, how to open this? So there is one thing I want to say. If you want to become a software developer, you should know how to Google things. This is our one and only friend which will help you in your any difficulty. So how to, which is the shortcut to open developer console in Chrome, like this. So here you will find option on Mac OS, Shift plus Control plus J on Windows or Linux. Okay, so this is the thinking. Okay, if you don't know anything, just Google it first, and if you then can't able to find any solution on the internet, if you visit, then you should post a query on Stack Overflow. This is how we approach solving bugs or any issues we come across while developing web application or mobile application or any backend framework, any backend application or anything. Okay, and if you see here in the view developer, in the developer tools, here all the tabs are here and you will find. So this is our developer console. Here we can write JavaScript. Okay, here we can write JavaScript. If you like, we can do this clear. So it will clear console. What console was clear. If you do this, console was clear, and if you press Command plus K, all the errors or any console logs will be gone. This is our network. Today we will talk about console and network tab. So this is our console and this is our network. Okay, and here all the network requests are here. So I will show you now my tablet and will explain you how frontend and backend communicates and how frontend shows all the data that is received by the frontend, which means the Chrome. Chrome is a tool developed by Google software engineers. Okay, so we use Chrome for front end and Chrome handles all the things for us. We don't have to worry about how this is showing and all. We just have to develop our application. Chrome will take it and use it. Okay, so if you go to elements, this is our full page, and if you click on this little arrow and select it, if you hover over it, you will see select an element in the page to inspect it, which means you can inspect any element from the page. Page has elements, page has images, text, division. So in the HTML, everything is HTML and CSS in this. We use frameworks like React, Next.js, Angular, or something else to make this easy for us to build front-end applications. Okay, if we use plain HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, then it will be much difficult for us to write all of this. But if we are using any framework, then it will be super easy and it will help us to achieve our goal, which means our goal is what? Building a website faster. So this is why we use a framework. So this is where you can see all the elements, all the divisions, or all the elements inside the web page. Web page has elements. Let's call them elements as of now. Now this full HTML page we have. Okay, this is our HTML page. What is HTML? HTML is a tree structure which is rendered by Chrome. Okay, and then it will show us all the rendered HTML, which is this is done by Chrome. We don't have to worry how this is going. We just have to learn HTML, which is very easy. You can learn HTML very easily by going W3 schools, available for free. Okay, this is HTML tutorial. Here you will find the HTML tutorial. HTML has divisions, sections, image tag. So this is the HTML we have seen like here. Okay, so this is our HTML. This is a body element. This has head tag, body tag, and inside body tag, if you can see all the divisions. Script tag is used for rendering, or we can say script tag is used for running JavaScript inside our application, inside our front-end application. This is division. All the things you see, everything is division on the internet, okay? And all the other things are part of it, like P for paragraph. P tag we use for paragraph. So I'm giving you an overview what is front-end is and how it is being used inside all of these applications, okay? So here you will see this is HTML. HTML is a head tag. This is called tag. Let me show you my tablet, which will be much easier for you to understand everything. Okay. Here is my iPad. Okay, let me. Yes. Now it is visible. Okay. So now we will learn what is HTML and what is tag in HTML, and then we will dive into CSS a little bit. Then I will explain you how should we proceed after learning HTML and CSS, and where do we learn all of these things. Okay. Here. So as I said, HTML. First, if you want to become a front-end web developer, you have to learn HTML. Okay, I have told you what is a browser is. Browser is used for rendering our web pages, okay? Now this is HTML. HTML full form is hypertext markup language, but we don't have to do anything with this name. This full form is nothing to do with it, but you should know it, okay? Hypertext markup language. So it's just a markup language. HTML is not a programming language. It is a markup language, and we can't use HTML to write any logic, okay? We use HTML as a tree structure, as a thing, like a box. If you should understand, it's like a box. Inside we will put all of those things in simple language, but it is not a box, but I'm just trying to make you understand. Now HTML have something called tag. What is a tag? Okay, what is a tag? Tag is something inside it we can show something. Okay, so assume it as a thing. Okay, assume it is a thing which is inside HTML. If you have learned any programming language till now, you have heard about variable. Okay, you have heard about functions. Okay, HTML doesn't have anything of them. HTML has tags inside it, and we use those tags to make our website. Okay, so what is a tag? I have told you what is a tag. Now types of tag. So you have to remember this, but they are not a lot. And if you want to remember, then you can always use Google to find all of those tags. But generally we don't use all of those. We use it frequently. We use division, mostly division. Then we use p tag to render a paragraph, and we have image tag to make a image, to render image. I am telling again and again render, but it is not render because I am from the React ecosystem. My mind is behind rendering and all of those things, but it is not called rendering. You just can understand that HTML has divisions tag, p tag, image tag, sections, section tag, and a lot more. Okay. Now you will see on my screen what are the different tags HTML has. And I will show you what are those tags used for. Here, HTML. Here you will see these are not over. Here you will see all the tags. Where is the tags here? HTML elements we can call them. This is a tag name. Content goes here. This is a tag name. And mostly we head for heading we have h1, h2, h3, h4, h5, h6. For paragraph we have p. To like we have some division and we want to show a line break. Okay, line break means if you are writing something and you want to write something on another in the next line, you hit enter. Okay, or if you hit shift plus enter. In HTML we use br tag, which means bracket, not bracket, line break. Okay, so this is our HTML. Inside we have body, and in the body we have h1 and p tag like this. So it is as simple as it sounds, and when you will try it, it will be much simpler. Okay, now we have HTML. That's all HTML is about. You don't have to worry much about HTML. Now we will proceed to CSS. Okay, you have just got an overview what HTML is and how we use it. Now we will go and see what is CSS and what is CSS use case. HTML use case is to build the web page. If we don't have CSS in the web page, let me show you an example what I'm saying. Okay, so this is our Club of Coders website. Okay, these are our courses and all of this is beautiful. This is looking beautiful because I have used CSS. If we remove CSS from it, it will look ugly. Okay, and let me show you how it will work. So if we go here, I will install an extension which is web developer extension, which will disable CSS for a bit moment, and then I will show you what it is to not have a CSS on the web page. You can install this extension on your own machine. Okay, this is web developer extension. Okay, I will paste a link in the chat box if you want to install it. So this is our web developer extension, and now I will show you the magic of CSS. So this is our page looking nicely. Where it is? If you click on it, disable JavaScript. We can disable JavaScript. Now we will disable CSS. Disable all styles. You will see what our website will look like if we don't have CSS. See. So this is our HTML. All of this is HTML. We don't have use. We didn't use any CSS as of now, but if you use CSS, then it will be magically turned into a beautiful web page or a website or a web application, anything you want to say. And let me tell you what is the difference between a static website and a dynamic website. Or okay, so a static website is which has content which doesn't change. Okay, so if you visit a blog and the data is not coming for a external server or external API, then it is called a static website or a static web page. But if our website has data coming from a server, means another PC. Server means another PC which is sitting around in other part of the world. Okay, so here if you will see, this is our club of orders. This is a dynamic website. Now if you go into the console and let's go into the network tab, if you hit refresh, you will see the data is coming. This is profile, which means I am not authenticated as of now. So this is the data, and we use this data to show all the beautiful things here. These are the courses. Okay, so these are the courses coming in JSON format. What is JSON? What is JSON format? I will talk about it later on, but I am just showing you how our things communicate. Okay, so the Chrome is making requests to the server, and the server is giving us the information, and the information we are using HTML and CSS to show all the information here. Okay, so if you are able to understand, please comment sometime so I can know that you are listening. Okay, now here our workshops. So workshop is coming, and this is another API request which is made by the browser itself. Okay, so we have browser APIs, some browser APIs, and we have API is what is API? I will talk about it. What is API? API is something which is, if you understand it, API is a mediator between settler between front end and back end. It communicates between both of them. Okay. Now we have seen the power of HTML and CSS. HTML without CSS is nothing, and CSS without HTML is also nothing. So they both are very much needed for a web page or a web application to build. Okay. Now here is our HTML. So first thing first, if you are new to front-end development, if you are new to coding, you should install the VS Code. What is VS Code? It is a tool to help us write code. We don't use docs, or we don't use any simple node code, what we say, editor, simple editor, because it will not give us auto completion and many beautiful things. Okay, but if we use Visual Studio Code, it will give us some nicely auto completion, which will make us productive. And when we are productive, we can ship our product, or we can ship our website fast. What is shipping? Shipping means making your website production ready. Okay, so you can install Visual Studio Code from here. Just if you are on a Mac, it will automatically suggest you. I have already installed it, so I will not install it, but you can install it here. It has a lot of extensions which will make your code looks nicer, and it will help you in great way. Okay, so now we will open our VS Code and we will code some HTML and basic CSS to just show you how things are working and how you can get HTML, CSS and web page running so fast. So now I will open my terminal. If you are on a Windows machine, you don't have a terminal, you have something like called Bash, or I don't know what is it, but you can install the kit, like Git Windows. If you search here, this one, you can install this, and you will also find something for, like this, Git Bash, Git UI. So you can use this as I am doing this. it will not a big deal, but you can also install this. I'm just making a folder by using terminal. You can use it too. Okay, now we will go into desktop. Now we will go into projects or YouTube stream. So this is Linux, means all the commands which are used here are same as Linux operating system. So now we will make a folder. To make a folder, we use mkdir, and now we will name our folder. So basics of HTML, basics of web development, web dev. Okay. Now we will go into the folder by change directory. CD means change directory to basics of web development. Now we are inside basics of web development. Now we will open our code editor, which means code dot. Now it will open automatically our code editor. This is our code editor. It will look like this. And now you can go here and you can make a file, index.html. Okay. And here is the magic. Press shift plus 1, which means this one. Okay, exclamation mark. If you hit enter, it will generate the boilerplate code to write HTML, which is very helpful. You can install this extension. Which extension I'm using here? Prettier. Not Prettier. It is called what it is called. Let me show you it again. Emmet abbreviation. Okay, Emmet. So Emmet is an editor. I think it is installed by default in the VS Code. Okay, so now we have our HTML boilerplate code, and as in our developers community, we can say hello world. Okay, and this is our website done. Okay, this is our website. Open with live server. Click here, and if you don't have the extension, you can go here in the extensions tab or extension panel, and you can search here live share, and you should install the live share extension here like this. After installing, if this asks you to refresh the code editor, just refresh it and go into it, and then click here over here and start a server over here. Okay, over here. Open a live server, and also here you will see click to run live server. If you click on it, it will start a live server and hello world. So this is our first web page. This is your first web page. If you have not built a website before, this is your first website. Okay, hello world. Now you can change here, and you will see it is being reflected instantly here, because we are using live server. Okay, and if you don't want to use live server, if you want to hit refresh again and again, if you made any changes inside this, let's assume hello world club, hello world from club of coders. Okay, like this, and if you hit save, you see it's been rendering automatically. But if you don't use the live share extension, which means, let me show you the example what I'm saying. If you just, okay, like this, you can also take the file and just put it into the Chrome, and you will see the file over here. Okay, this is the path of our file, this is our live server. This is our live server. This is the file path, and that's how we are rendering CSS here. Now if you go into it, if you make any change into it, you will see the change is not being reflected, because this is not a server. This is not a live server. Hello world from Club of Coders, and this is Rocket. If we click on save, you see the change has been reflected, and here the change has not been reflected. If you hit refresh, now we will see the thing. Okay, now I think you have understood the importance of live server extensions we are using. Now we will move forward, and we will install our CSS thing. Now it is looking ugly, and we want to make it look beautiful. Okay, so what we will do, we will use CSS over here. Okay, as I have said earlier, if you want to become a web developer, you should know how to Google. You should open Google every time in one tab and just search anything you don't understand. Just search, okay? Don't worry about it. You don't have to memorize anything at all. You just can Google. You can just use Google to get anything you want. Everything on the internet. It's available. You don't have to remember it. And anyone who says that you have to remember any shit, he's wrong. Okay? You don't have to remember anything. You just have to remember where is the thing I can find. Okay? Where is that thing? So you should just remember the reference. You don't have to remember the data. If we pass the reference into the function if you have programmed before. Okay. Now hello world from couple of coders. Now we will use CSS. Okay. So if you click on this, which is new file, now we will use the new file which is CSS. Okay. So we can name CSS file style st.css. It's a CSS file. And to link the CSS, now it is not being linked. Okay, you can write any CSS here, but it will not be reflected. What is CSS? CSS is used to make our website beautiful. And to CSS full form is cascading style sheets. So this is used for styles, as the name said. Okay. Nice. So this is our CSS. And how should we connect over here? Now we will understand what is CSS and how should we use it. Okay. Now let's go here. Where is the... And to learn CSS, you can always pause the tutorials. CSS is hard. I will not say it is easy. CSS is hard. You have to practice a lot to be proficient in CSS. Okay. And you can learn from W3 schools and you can learn from YouTube tutorials anywhere you want. Learn CSS. We used to style HTML document. CSS describes how HTML elements should be displayed. This tutorial will teach you CSS from basics to advanced. Okay. So let me give you some example. So this is called our body. Okay, this is our body. And to reference this inside this here, we can do select our body and background color. We want our background color. These all are the properties which you will remember automatically by practicing. Okay. There is not a chance you can remember all the properties. You should be practicing all the time. And you can choose a color and save it. Now our body has background color of this one. Okay, let's change this to this. But here you will see the change is not reflected. Why so? Because we haven't connected our HTML to CSS. Now we will connect our HTML to CSS. And to connect it, we will use our link tag. Okay. We will use link. If you write link, it will show you the suggestions. Atom, CSS, favicon, import, all of those things. You don't have to worry for anything. If you want to know what is it, just Google it. Okay, what is link CSS? What is how to link import or anything. So now we will link CSS. So we will say relation is style sheet and href is style.css. Href is attribute specific to URL to linked resource. A URL can be attribute, absolute or relative. Okay, so this is our CSS file path. Okay, our CSS file is in our home directory or root directory, which we say, so we don't have to write any path of, or if you want to, you can right click and you can here copy relative path and it will be copied, and relative path is style.css. That's all. And if you hit save here, now we will see our color is changed. Okay, so this is how the magic is working. So now you have make your first web page, basic web page, hello world, and this is our style. And now you can use all the tags inside here. Now we will use h1. This is a big heading. This is smaller headings like this. Okay, you can see here. Now you can copy and paste everything. We will not use CSS to make our websites anymore. Okay, we will use, okay, not CSS, we will not use a plain HTML or CSS. We now have such awesome libraries, some awesome libraries, we can use them to make our life very easy. Okay, now we have S3. Anything, we can see that this is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay, so this is the basics of HTML and CSS. Now we can use p tag. This is a p tag. Now we can use something like whatever we can say. Div. This is a division. Okay, you are understanding. Okay, these are the tags in the HTML, and we use text, and inside text there is some text, or there is some another tag, anything you can want. And here is image, and you can pass any source here. Let's jump into unsplash.com and find the image URL. Click over here. Okay, click over here. Click right click, copy image address, paste it here. Use alt demo image. Image tag is completed. We have section tag. This is section, or any other tag you can say. That's all. Where is this? Okay, so you can see now. This is a p tag, division. This is section. All of those things. Nice. I hope you got my point. What I'm saying is that we are using HTML and CSS. Now we will design here. We want to design our p tag, so we will just use p and curly braces, and then we can say we want background color for p is like, let's say, black. Now we will move forward, and now we will say we want image something. We need a border for our image. Okay, so border. So if you hover over the border, you will see what is the syntax for border. First one is line width, which means border width. Then we have line style. Which border style you want? Do you want dashed border? Do you want solid border or anything? You will see all the options here. And then we have a color. Which color the border should have? Okay. Now we need 1 pixel. So inside HTML, inside our browser, we use pixel. Okay. Pixel. What is pixel? Pixel is a measurement of measuring the width, we can say. Like we use centimeter, meter. This there is pixel, because in the screen, in the web browser, we use pixel. Now here, the type of border. Okay, so we want solid border, so you can say solid. Here, where I'm getting all of this is all auto completion. You don't have to worry. Here you can say line style, and now this is color. And now the color is, you can say color, and color has some hash values, which means what are hash values? So what are color hash? Hex code basically. A hex color is code is 6-symbol code made of with 2 symbol of film. With anything you can say this is a color, and this is something as a symbol we use for defining color in our CSS. Okay, so for white we have F F F F F F. You can use 6 or 3. That's all. Okay, so now if you save this, where it is, it will have a border white, solid border. You can see here. Over P tag has a background color of black. If you hover over it, let's change the color to this and save it. Now it has a red color. Okay, so this is our CSS. That's how we write CSS. If you want division can have. Okay, so we are using border box. There are some types of conventions we use here. Okay, the types of conventions, what I'm saying is there are different types of boxes we use. Okay, so everything is box. I have said as I have said, if you click here set to select element, everything is box. Everything is box here. Okay, this is a box, this is a box, this is box, this is another box, and the box has different properties. Okay, if you click on any of the box here, you can see here this has background color, display, margin, padding, and all of those things. I will talk about what is margin, what is padding, what is border box, what are all of them. Okay, so there is a border box called border box thing in CSS. Okay, if you search CSS box sizing, we can say. So here is a nice little example where you can see. Okay, and this says width 300 pixel, same width. This says height of 100 pixel. Okay, you can assume pixel as a unit. Okay, to measure pixel. Okay, we say this is how much pixel. The padding, what is padding, I will talk about it. What is padding, and then we have border. Okay, so there is thing called box sizing property, allow us to include the padding and border in element total within. So there is border box inside CSS which we can use. Okay, so if you use it, this is by default used in Chrome. Okay, so you don't have to define it, but for the sake of and to make you understand, I am using it. So what is this property? If you hover over it, you will find selector specificity. This is another term which I will teach you what is this term. Okay, is the algorithm to used by browser to determine which property has higher priority than the other one. Okay, so this is another thing. This is some advanced thing we are not going for as far as of now. We'll just talk about a little some of CSS properties and we will move forward. Nice. So this is our division. This is image tag, p tag, body, and other division. Division has margin. Margin means now I will need to show you now I will need my tablet to show you what I'm saying. So this is our box. You have defined a division. So in the HTML you have wrote div hello world. Okay, this is our division and you need to style it. So for the styling, you are saying that margin, there are some properties in CSS which I want to talk about now. There is margin, there is padding, there is border. Okay, what is margin, what is padding, what is everything, this will be understand here. Okay, here you will find it very easy to understand. Let's select any box over here. Let's select this smaller heading here. Okay, this one, select it. So this is our main box. If you can see here, okay, let me show you just my screen. We have selected a division here. Okay, now we have selected. Now we will go here. This is box. Inside the box we have our all the contents here. So this is our contents. You can see we are getting a little bit of bluish hover effect on the box we have selected. So this is our box. Now we can go. This have padding. Then we have padding. Then we have border. And then we have margin. Okay. So now I will show you my screen. This one. So this is our box, which is this content. Okay. And this is our width. This is our width, which we have defined. Let's assume it is also 200 pixel. Now we have some border. Now we have some border over here. Okay. And border has 1 pixel. 1 pixel. So now the total width as of now for this element is 100 plus 1 plus 1. So 102 pixel total width. And height is also whichever we height defined plus 2 into the border height, like this. Now the padding is 0. Okay. And then this is our content and this is our padding. This is our padding. And the width is this is not the formula basically. So I will tell you the formula of total width of an element in the in the HTML or in the CSS. We don't have to worry much about it because we will be using some awesome frameworks and libraries to make our life very easier. Now I am just telling you to make you understand how you can build pixel perfect websites. Okay. Our aim is to build the best website, the best we can do. Okay. So to be the best, we have to understand little nitpicks. If we don't understand, programming is all about nitpicks. Okay. We will have some bugs and then we will have to solve it. And to solve a bug, we already and we must know the basics or fundamentals. So this is our padding. So let's assume this have width W and the padding is P. Now we are calculating everything on the X direction. So this is the X direction, this is the Y direction. Now we are calculating everything on X direction. So this is our width. So first like this, hello. So this is W. Then we have padding. Then we have border. So border, let's call border B. Then we have margin M. Same here as well. So total width of this element will be in the x-axis. What will be the total width? Total width will be W plus 2P plus 2B plus 2M. This will be total width if you want to get the total width of an element over here. And same for the height. This P is for X direction and for the Y direction you can say the height is H plus something 2PY. You can say PX for the X and for PY 2BY plus 2MY for Y direction. So this is everything you have to worry about. CSS margin. This is border box. This is our element, as you can see. You should, okay, let me just make my screen visible here. This is our main box. This is our padding, which is 0 as of now. Border, because border is also 0, it is not showing. Margin, this has some margin. You can see this has some margin. This is our margin. That's why it is taking so much of height here. Okay. So I hope you understood what is margin, what is padding, border, what is CSS, how can we connect CSS to HTML, what are CSS tags, what are HTML tags, and how do we write CSS, for basic text. And there is something called IDs and classes. Okay, so if we are using this div image P, it will make all of our divisions something. Okay, so let's give margin of top. So there are margin top, bottom, right, left, and if we use just margin, then let's give it a 10 pixel margin. So then it will apply to all of those tags inside our HTML. But what if we have to take one tag? Okay, what I am saying is, if we go into here, this is the division. Okay, this is another division, this is another division, this is another division. So there are 4 divisions, and if I remove this margin of 10 pixel, you will see all of those collapse. Collapse means there is no margin in between them. If I comment it out, and if I remove the comment, then you can see now it has margin in between them, which is nice. Okay, which is nice. But what if you want to apply the margin on the 3rd division? What if you want to apply the margin on 3rd division? Then you will need something to select that only division. And what is the thing which you will use to select that division? Then there is something called classes and IDs. Okay, so there is something called classes and ID. So there is some ID and there are some classes. There is something called IDs and classes which we will use to identify which element we want to style. We want to style every element into our screen. So that's how we will choose them. Now, let's assume we want this 2nd division. So we will say, hey division, your name is 2nd division. So class is nothing but you can define. We used to, a class is a class, okay, and ID is a specific ID. ID is given to a specific person. Okay, so you have an ID card. Okay, so you have an ID card and you are only sole or owner of that ID card. Okay, and you are studying in 5th class, and then the class has a lot of students, and a lot of students has ID cards. So a student can only have one ID, which is similar. A division can only have one ID, and ID will be only specific to only one element. But the class can be used at multiple times. So this is how you should remember it. The example is not relevant. I have given this example to make you remember how should you remember how ID is used, how class is used. So this is classed and this is 2nd division, but we should not use 2nd division here. We can use, this is division, simple. And we can use this class here also. So these both 2nd and 3rd division are of class division. But here, if you go here, this has ID. Now we can give a unique ID to it, like 2nd division. And now we can give it ID 3rd division. So this is the name of this element. We name this element 2nd division, we name this element 3rd division. We inserted and we made 2nd and 3rd division. Both are the parts of class division. That's how you should remember them. Now if you go here, now you can remove this, okay? Okay, keep it there. Now what we want? Now we want our 2nd division should have white color, should have white background color. Now how we will do it? We will select from that ID. And how will we select from that ID? Just copy it here and use hashtag ID name. Hashtag ID name. This is how we reference it. Okay, this is how we reference this. Now we want the background color. You can name background color. Okay, what do I say? I want white color. Now okay, if we save it, see our second division has white color now. Okay, now our second division has white color. Now we want to make all of the elements inside our class. So we have defined a class called division. Now I want to reference all of those elements inside this class, which means a class can have multiple tags. So a class is used to reference by dot class name. Now I want all of those elements which are a part of division class should have margin, top, or you can say border. Let's say border of bottom. Let's say border of bottom. I want black border. Okay, and black border should have width or height of 1 pixel, and it should have a solid, or let's say dashed, the type of border. And now we will say it should be black. So all the classes. So now you will see this is our second class, this is our third class, means these both elements are a part of our division class, and now they both have border here. Now our second division has this, and now I want my third division. Now I want my third division to have a green color. Let's assume green. Now our third division has green color. This is first, this is second, this is third. But here is the thing. ID has more priority than class. If you have given, let me what I want to tell you. Now we have two choices to select this second division. We can select this second division by division class, or we can select this second element by ID of second division. Okay, same for the third division. But if you want to, like we have given the background color of white to our second division. Now we will also define the same property here, and now we'll say I want the color of both. I want the color of all the divisions which has class of division is blue. Then it will not work for the second division. It will work for the third division. It will also not work for the third division because we have used background color here. Let me show you what I'm saying. If you click save here, now you say nothing has changed. Why? Because this is super. This has superpower. This has superpower. This has specificity higher than class. ID has specificity higher than a class. So as I said, now if you remove this from here, also if you remove this from here, if you click save, now both has blue color. Okay, so now I think you have got the point. Now I think you have got okay. Now I think you have got my point. Sure. So this is what I'm saying, and I mistakenly opened my screen, another screen. I'm sorry for that. But anything which I have said, I think you have got the point. And now if you want to read more about the specificity, you can read it here and how it is calculated, how ID and class has specificity, how these things work. You can read more about it here. And now we will move forward to ending of this live streaming. Okay. Okay, now what I'm saying is, if you go here, everything is for, as I told you, all the elements, all the text elements, images are because of HTML, and the style these are looking all nicely, which is because of the style or the CSS we are using. Now there is a third thing which called interactivity, which means if we click on any element, then it will show us another thing. Then when we click on another thing, then it will show us another thing. How it is all working? It is working because of JavaScript. This is the magic of JavaScript. If we click on this, okay, let's go here. If we go here, okay, if we go here, this all the because of HTML and CSS. And if you click on this element, okay, if you click on this button, you will see another page has opened. Why it is opened? This all interactivity. It is called interactivity, and all of this interactivity is given by JavaScript. It is given by JavaScript. Okay, this interactivity is must to make any front-end application or any website. Okay, because we always want some button over here. Okay, so this is how everything is working. Now if I click on share this course button, it will open a toggle, it will open a model. So this is interactivity, and this is because of JavaScript we are using inside the browser. Okay, and if we disable the JavaScript inside our browser, then we will see some issues. Okay, let's try this. Okay, it is still working because some JavaScript are client side and some JavaScript is used by a different thing. So I think that's because of that thing. And now if we refresh, you should install this plugin. It is very useful to develop web application, and you can use this. Like you can see here image, and if you want to disable all the images, and I think it's not working now. Okay, now the images are gone. Okay, I have to refresh this before, and now I will disable the JavaScript. Let's disable the JavaScript. Now the JavaScript is disabled. Now refresh this. Okay, so you will not able to see anything on the web page. Why is so? Because everything is being rendered by JavaScript. Okay, so we are relying on JavaScript. If you click on share button, now nothing will work because interactivity has gone, which is given by JavaScript. Okay, so now let's make our website as previously as it has. Enable all of these things and refresh this thing. So now everything is right and perfect and working. So I have given you a overview of how HTML and CSS works, how a browser works, how we get the data from a server, how we receive it, and everything. Okay, now I will tell you how you can become a front-end developer, how you can master it, and how you can get 10x developer by following this path. Okay, this is a super thing which I am going to tell you. Okay, so if you are beginning with, you should have watched this video. I have told every fundamental and how you should use the power of Google to learn anything on the internet. So you should learn internet fundamentals, and to learn internet fundamentals there are some awesome videos. Okay, there are some awesome videos on the internet fundamentals, which will I share you. There is an awesome video of internet, how internet works, and this is not being shown here. I will definitely suggest a video on the internet. It is an animated video where you will see how the internet works and how these things are working. And then you should learn, where is this? Miss here. Then you should learn HTML and CSS. You don't have to memorize all of those things. You can just Google them. You can just use W3 schools to, if you found anything critical or if you found anything tough to understand, then you can just find it over Google. Okay, then you should learn JavaScript to make the website interactive. How after clicking a button something happens. So this is the magic of JavaScript and the magic of logic. Okay, so then you should learn JavaScript. Now if you want to master it, there are some suggestions, there are some frameworks, There are a lot of frameworks. There are a lot of JavaScript frameworks. JavaScript framework. If you search it, okay, there are a lot of frameworks. Vue, Angular, Svelte, Angular JS, jQuery, Next.js, Express, all of those frameworks of JavaScript. But in this roadmap, I will suggest you to stick to React.js because it is in demand and it is used by most of the companies as of now. And if you are learning web development, there is a point you want to get a job in web development field. Okay. And there is a lot of opportunity in this React and Next.js one. That's why I'm saying to learn React, then you should jump into Next.js and Tailwind CSS. Recently, the Next.js 13 version has released, and I'm soon going to make a great tutorial on it, and I will going to publish it on YouTube. This is an awesome framework. I have used this Next.js framework to build this whole website. And that's why if you visit this website, this is blazingly fast website. And that's the magic of Next.js. Okay. And then we will learn advanced topics such as, then you should learn advanced topics such as state management, how all the data inside your application is going through all the components and going through all the elements. Okay. And all of those, how to implement a data store, data backend without knowing much about backend, how you should use some libraries fetching, how should you fetch data more proficiently, more efficiently, how you should fetch the data. Okay, so here are all the things. And if you want to learn all of these things, you can enroll in this bootcamp. This is starting on 19 November. You can go through it and you can read more about it. You can ask me any question you have. You should enroll in this bootcamp if you are serious about learning front-end development. And as I told you, you can learn from all the free resources, but the free resources are scattered around and it will take you time, and your time is more precious than money. Okay. And if you, let's assume you have 10 months. Okay. Let's assume you have 10 months to learn web development. Okay. Let's assume you have 10 months to learn web development and you learned a framework which is not in trend, or which is not taught by expert, or which is not taught in a way that make you understand, that make you build some web applications faster, or that can make you web application built on your own. Okay, then your time will be wasted, and another person who is learning from a correct resource and who is learning from a structured part will be ahead of you, and he will get that job. Okay, that's what I'm saying, that you should always learn from a trusted, or you should always learn from a structured resource. Okay, Udemy, you should take Udemy courses if you want, but Udemy courses are not that good because the price you are paying, the value you are not getting for that little price, the value is huge. Okay, if you take a whole roadmap, that is a whole hell lot of value. Okay, and that is not going to that value is not available on internet, because no one will teach you how to build a full stack web application from from zero without knowing much things. Okay, there is something, it will take you years to learn everything, front end, back end, then publishing it on live on AWS or Google Cloud or any server. You should also know some DevOps things. There are a lot of things to remember. But if you follow a structured path, if you follow this path, it will make you much productive. And that's all I want to say. And now I will finish this thing. If you have any doubt regarding it, let me know in the comment section. If you want to enroll this, you are welcome, and it is a roadmap which is structured, and it is limited. It is for limited period, and it has limited seats. I will not be taking much seats because I want anyone who enrolled in this workshop or who enrolled in this roadmap will have 100%. I have 100% of that thing that I have to teach those who enrolled in this roadmap, everything. Okay, so that's why I'm saying you that I have some responsibility to teach you something, because I have given you a statement. Okay, that's why you should take a structured path. And let me know if you have any doubts, and thank you very much for joining today's live stream. And now I will see you soon into the next tutorial, which is probably gonna be Next.js 13 version. And I'm going to make a full stack web application using some cool stuff. And that's all. Thank you very much.